Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hope everybody is having a great Sunday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm excited to get back on the charts this week. So let me just check really quick. Just need to check my page really quick. I want to make sure it's streaming properly. Okay, perfect. All right. All right. So we're back at it again. Sunday, our market breakdown. So I'm going to do a breakdown on gold, US30, and Nas100. So appreciate you guys popping on. If you guys have any questions, put them down in the comments section. All right. Let me share my screen really quick. All right. So first, we're going to take a look at gold. All right. So let me clear all this out for you. This is all last week's. So remove drawings. And then we'll change color to light. So we get a better, get some clear direction here. Let me turn these off. Okay. All right. So let's kind of see what last week did really quick. And then we'll kind of go into news also. We'll go see what we have in news. So let me check this really quick. Okay, cool. All right. So let's go back to gold here. All right. So we'll kind of go back to what we saw last week. So let's go to the daily here. So let's kind of see what last week did. So we had a lot of bullish movement. So let's see. Last Monday was the 16th. So here is the 16th Monday. So we had literally all this movement from up here. So this red candle right here. So we had a little bit of a pullback, and then we literally pushed all the way to the upside, even to our previous resistance level. We even surpassed that. We broke through that. So that was, we actually got up to 1998. So crazy, guys. So let's see. Let's go to the weekly really quick, and let's kind of see where our trend is. Okay. So since we came up here this whole week and we actually broke through this previous resistance right here. So we could get a little bit of a pullback, but I definitely see it continuing to the upside. It'd be one thing if we had a break of structure and we broke this area right here. So if we happen to break this area here, so let me change this. So it's black. Okay. So if we would have broke this area right here, this previous support, then we could possibly look for sells this week. So it would probably come down to this and target this area here, or it could even target these lows or these lows here. So, but because we didn't, I'm going to say we're going to continue to the upside. So since this is on the weekly, the highest mark it's hit is back here. So literally 2072. So this is where it has to surpass. So for me, I believe we're actually going to come back up here. and target at least 2065. So that's where I see it. Or, we could hover around here and actually go to the downside. So, but like I said, since we broke this previous resistance, I'm just going to say we're still bullish. So we are still bullish. So a lot of times you can take your trend line and you can actually bring it here and actually move it all the way here. But since we don't really have 3 points, it doesn't really work that way. So this trend line, of course, wouldn't work for this. But again, even if we didn't use trend lines, still nonetheless, the previous candle here, last week's candle, surpassed this previous resistance level. So usually when we see that, we're going to continue to see continued movement up unless we get a huge pullback or it breaks structure. So since it hasn't broken structure yet, we're still going to be bullish. So with that, we can go down to the daily and start marking up some areas here. So, all right. So let's mark our previous support. Okay. So our lowest support. So I'm going to get my rectangle here. So we're going to target this low right here. That's going to be our previous support. So we're literally just going to take this to the candle, drag this over. I'll make this blue. Okay. And then we're literally just going to drag this over. So I'll blow this up a little bit. And we're literally going to drag it over. So with that being said, this is our previous support here. So we can see, a couple of weeks back, it pulled up, came back down, came back up, came back to the same level, ended up coming all the way up. And then we had some consolidation, and then we had a down movement, up again, down, a little bit of consolidation again, came back down to that same area of support, and then came back up. So again, if you see, this actually came back to the same area of resistance. And this has happened multiple times. So that's going to be another area that we're going to mark up. So where it currently is, we can see there's been a trend that it's hit that same area. So we're going to go ahead and mark our current resistance area. So again, I'll move this a little bit over. There we go. And then I'm going to mark up one more area of support right here. So I'm going to mark this area right here. It's another area of support here. There we go. And then I'm just going to drag it over. So again, we can see here there was a point where it actually touched this zone again. And again, we almost touched this zone another time back in June 29th. Then we had some pull up to this area of resistance, and then it pulled right back down into this support area. And then, of course, came up, came back down, came up, and then came down and broke through this area. And then actually we found another area of support after that. And then this became resistance. So now currently, since this over this last week, we had a lot of bullish movement and broke through this resistance. And now this resistance became support. So now that's why this is our current support level. And then this is now our resistance level. So, and then of course we have here, this is going to be our overall resistance. So, but we need to wait until this actually breaks through here because this may come to target this area, like I said. So 2067. So, but right now, this is kind of where we're looking at. So if we look also in the past, we kind of were in a zone at one point because it wasn't until back in April when it actually broke through this area and then it came back down and it stayed in this area for quite a while until about September. Then it actually broke through. And then it just recently came back up this week into this area. So we got to see if we're going to continue to play in this zone right here. So I'll kind of highlight this real quick. So this is kind of what we call a zone. So because we can see it's played in here multiple times. So now I'll change the color on this. So let's do a green. So like I said, we can see it's played in this area. So we need to see if it's going to break this resistance level, and then we can start looking in this area right here because it broke through this range. So it'll no longer play in this range. So we got to kind of watch out for that. So since we're here on the daily, since we marked up kind of 3 main levels, we can kind of see the psychological levels that it hit also. So, of course, again, I always talk about psychological levels every time we do these lives, or these breakdowns. So those key levels are going to be areas, of course, where it's hit, whether it's support or resistance, but key levels. So either like 18, it's going to be roughly odd numbers. So either like 1800, 1825, 1850, something like that. So like say for instance, on this resistance, it would be I'd say about 1885. So like we can actually get a horizontal line and run that through here. So like 18, because we want to see where it actually hit or where it's hit multiple times really. So I want to say, like maybe 1883. So I'll make this black and then a little bit wider. There we go. So 1883, 242. So we can actually change that. Go to coordinates and just do like 250. 1883, 250. So, and then we'll mark up this area here. So we can kind of look back, see where did it hit before. So it hit once, twice, 3 times, 4 times right here, 5 times. So let's go with 1885. We'll go with 1885, 620. So, because these are areas where it's going to hit again, or it could hit again. So, because with gold, if it does break through here, this is overall high. We haven't had. Let's see, we had a higher point back in 2020. So, and that was around 2075. So it's been a few years since it's actually this is the highest gold has gone in quite a while. So, and just because of the way the economy is, with everything going on with the war and stuff like that, this gold can continue to strengthen. So, with all that being said, all right, let's mark up this last area right here, and then that's going to pretty much do it for gold. So as of right now, that's what we see. So let's see where it hit the most. So I want to say, yeah, 1815. Let's go 1815. Go 200. Yeah, there we go. So as of right now, that's our levels right now. So what could happen is, so see, as of right now, we are getting some pull to the downside. So it could be just a slight retracement or a pullback. So, but we have to break these levels right here. We have to break this candle right here. So we could end up even coming down into this area if it does, to touch these previous highs and then bounce right back up. Go back into this area, could have a little bit of a pullback again, and then pull to the upside into this area right here. So that's what could possibly happen if we do break through here or we stay underneath this resistance. Then we could see some sells back down to this area right here or this previous high right here. So 1941. So we just got to see how it's going to play out. News is going to factor that as well. So, and I'll take you through the news right now. I just wanted to take us through at least one chart. So that's pretty much it for this. We can look on the 4 hour just so you get a little bit of clarity. So you can see here we had a pretty much a nice bullish or bearish candle, engulfing candle. So we need to see again if it's going to pull back and then continue to the downside, but it's going to continue to stay in this range. So if you see what this range that I meant, so you can see it's been in this range for quite a while. So, before it broke around here. So before it broke on the 27th of September, that's when it broke the support. But it came back into this area, into this zone. So we need to see what this is going to do. So because we might have just gotten a slight pullback just because of the market open, and it could end up continuing to the upside. So that's kind of where I see gold going, guys. I see gold continuing up personally. So if I go back on the daily really quick, I believe personally gold is going to start targeting these areas right here. So this area, this high, and even these highs here. So that is my kind of prediction on that. So let's look at news really quick. So let me change this really quick because you guys won't see that. Let's take a look at news. All right. So let's go to this coming week. So 22 to the 28th. So, all right, Tuesday. All right, looks like we got quite a bit of red folders. Not so much for USA. So actually we do. Okay. All right. So I always look at USD on here, guys. So that's just, because of a lot of pairs that I trade, the US dollar affects it. So let's see, Monday, we don't have anything going on Monday. So Tuesday, we have flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. So that could definitely affect the market as well. 9:45, so literally a little bit after market open. So definitely watch out for that. And then Wednesday, not too much going on. New home sales, crude oil inventories, and that's about it. So 4:35, pretty much a half hour before market close, we do have Powell's going to speak again. So if you guys are going to trade around that time towards the end of the market, be careful with that because the market will move anytime Powell speaks. So I'd be careful with that. For anybody that's on the Pacific time, that's going to be around 2 or 1 o'clock or 1:30. So just be mindful of that. And then let's see, Thursday, uh, pre-market open 8:30. We have some advanced GDP, unemployment claims. So we got a lot of USD, even though we only have two red folders. We got a lot of stuff going on, within the economy. So goods order, balance of the durable goods orders, stuff like that. What else we got? FOMC Waller speaks at market open. I don't know if that will affect too much with that, even though it is FOMC. But just anytime we see FOMC, we just want to be on the side of caution, or at least wait 15 to 20 minutes after the announcement, or at least market open, so you can assess the way the market's going to move or the pair that you're trading. So just be mindful of that. And then Friday, we have core PCE price index, revised UM consumer sentiment. So we have one red folder pre-market and one at 10 a.m. So Friday, just be mindful of that. We also do have FOMC again with another council member. So definitely watch out for that. And that's pretty much it. So not too much news. I mean, we do have a couple items throughout the week to just be wary of, but nonetheless, not too bad. So, all right, let's go to US30. All right, so here we go, US30. So let me clear this out as well. So that's nice and clean. Oops. All right, go to lights. Let me turn this indicator off. All right. All right, so here we go. So here is, let's go on the weekly. All right, so here we are on the weekly chart for US30. All right, so let's take a look back how last week moved. So, of course, again, we had the 16th to the 20th. So we'll go to the 16th. Where is it? October 16th. So this whole candle right here. So we had a lot of bearish movement yesterday. If we looked on a lower time frame, you can see we had a lot of consolidation, to be honest. So check this out. So see, even right here on the 5-minute, we had a lot of consolidation here. So from Sunday all the way. So we didn't have too much movement in US30 last week. So, but let's take a look at the weekly really quick, and then let's identify a trend. Okay. All right. So let me kind of make this smaller. Okay. So as we look here, if we look at the overall trend, we can see, we came up, we kind of went sideways for a little bit, came down, came back up, came back down, came back up, and then kind of just went sideways again, came up a little bit, and then came down. So the way I look at this right now is we are still bearish. So the movement is still overall bearish. So because we're looking here, we're not trying to look all the way back here. We're trying to look where we currently are. So this goes all the way back to August. So August, we've been in a bearish trend. So because you can even identify this with a trend marker. So because with this trend marker here, none of these candles has broke through this trend line. If that were the case, then we would actually have a breakup structure and we would actually have some bullish movement. But because that hasn't happened, we are still bearish. So with that being said, if we look here, this candle right here was last week. So since it actually broke this previous candle, I personally believe that we're going to continue to target these lows right here. We're going to continue with that bearish formation. So let's see if we have some other areas to confirm that. So of course, we've identified the trend on the weekly. So now let's go down to the daily and let's mark up some key areas. Okay. So with that said, with this being on the daily here, we're going to mark up our support and resistance, our supply and demand areas. All right. So let's kind of go with our daily low, which is right here. So we're going to mark up that area. Oops. Okay. So remember, we're going to see where it's touched last. So of course, I try to go to the end of the candle, not the wick, but I'll cover the wick as well. So we want to kind of move to the left and see where it's hit multiple times. So we can see right here, all the way back in May, even 2022. Look at that. So we've hit multiple times. So I'm not going to take it that far back because we want to focus on, the present roughly. So I'm going to move this over here. So just in case it does tap into this area. So again, we have another area as well, which is our more recent support. So let's mark that area. So of course, as we see here, we're going to mark that area. And then we're going to drag it to the left. All right, there we go. So I'm going to move this a little bit here. Awesome. So we can see that from the previous candles, they've hit in this area multiple times. All right. So now we're going to identify our resistance. So we're going to look for a recent resistance level so we can see where it's tapped into that area multiple times. So I can identify one recently right here. So we can look at this area right here. So because we can see that it's tapped into this area multiple times. So drag this over. All right. So we don't even have to go that far back. Sorry. We'll just go to like right here. There we go. Keep it current. All right. So we can see that it actually blew through here, but it tapped into this area at one point, tapped into here multiple times. Then again here, 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 and here. So it's respected this area multiple times. So now that as you see this actually, again, we had a range at some point because we can see that it actually came into this area multiple times before, of course, breaking through down to this support level. But it stayed in this range for a good amount of time before, again, it broke through, came back down to this area, consolidated, came back down to this support level, came up, and came back down. So with that being said, this coming week, we're going to have to look and see for it to break through this support level and, again, test these lows right here like it has before. So that's kind of where I see us going so far. So these are kind of our three areas right here so that we can do our psychological levels at this point. So that's our horizontal line. So we can see here that it touched, let's see, 34431. Yeah, I want to say. mm, let's see. Yeah, I like the 3345 area. There we go. 0.0. Let's do that. So 34450 area. So this, if it does respect this support level, we could come back into this area and target this psychological level. So 34450. So again, we'll have another one right here. So I want to say to 3389. So 32. Let's do 32,900. 32,900. So that's going to be a psychological level for us here. So it could very well come into this area this week if we continue this bearish trend. So again, we'll do our last support area over here. I want to do more. I want to do it a little bit higher, actually. I want to move this. Let me move this really quick. I want to move this more to this area here. So more like this. Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, with our psychological level, I want to say more around, this area. So 31, let's say 800. Hold on one second. There you go. Let me fix this. There you go. So 31,800. That's the level I see for that. All right, so we can actually go down even on the 4 hour. We can kind of see where we're at. So again, we've ranged in this area. So we broke through this area September 23rd, and we've been kind of stuck in this area, and it hasn't broken through all this time. So we actually see around the beginning of the month, October 3rd, we actually respected this support area, came back up to these highs, consolidated, came back down into this area. So again, this week, if we're going to continue with a bearish structure, we have to break through this support level here, and then we can actually see into this other ranging area over here to see the possibility target 31,800. So, but if it continues to respect this support level, again, it's going to bounce off here, and we're going to continue back up into this area. So we have to kind of see what's going to happen. So that's what I see with US30, guys. So hopefully you guys got some value and knowledge out of that. So we'll see what happens with that. And then lastly, let's go to Nas100. All right. Do a new tab. Yeah, because I don't have Nas100 on here. Sorry. Should be up here. There we go. There we go. Nas100. Okay, here we go. So hopefully you guys can see this area right here. So let me clear this area because again I had some markups. All right, so we got this nice and clean. Let's go on the weekly. All right, so let's see really quick what Nas100 did this week. So we actually had some bearish movement as well. So yeah, so the 16, yeah, so we had some bearish movement. So although we didn't break through this support right here, so it may be respecting this level. So we have to kind of see here. So we kind of see the trend. So again, since it didn't break through this level yet, so if we didn't respect the wicks, then we would say it broke through. But it did break through these previous levels here. So let's see, not so much this candle, but it actually broke these candles here. So if that were the case, then we could potentially see some sells here. So, but the way this is formed so far, we are somewhat bearish. So again, because we do have multiple candles that are lining up. So if we see here, we do have multiple candles that are lining up. So, and until this candle breaks through this trend line, we're going to be considered bearish. So most people would see this as an overall because it had a huge push up that it was bullish, but we actually broke structure when that happened because once this came here, we actually broke through this level here. So we broke through this previous level right here, which actually made us now bearish. So we had a slight pull up, came back down again, a slight pull up, and then back down again. So let's go on the daily now. So now we have we have our trend. So now let's see where we kind of see things going. So again, on the daily here, we're going to mark up our support and resistance levels. So supply and demand. So let's do that. All right, so let's mark up our support level as of right now. So of course, this is going to be our support level. So this area right here. All right, I'll leave that just as it is. And then let's mark up our resistance level. So our current resistance level is obviously going to be right here. So it's going to be that highest candle right here. I'm trying to move this over a little bit. There you go. Because it did tap into this area at one point. So we definitely want to identify that. So since we are in a bearish somewhat movement, so we are kind of, I want to say, consolidated in some sense, or we're in a range again, because if we see here, sorry, it's going to pop up again. So if we see here, we actually came up, consolidated, came back down, consolidated again, came back up to this resistance level, came back down to this support level. So we need to see if this is going to break through this support level. If that is the case, then of course we will target these lows here, and these lows right here. So we can actually kind of mark up a couple more areas just for sake, because if it does break through, so I can see some levels that it could be hitting. So it could hit here, and of course here. So these are just some areas to watch. So because just any area where it consolidated and then we had a push up, those are some good areas that we want to watch because it could come right back into that area. So with that being said, that's kind of what we're going to look for. So if it does happen to this week end up supporting this support level, and then we end up shooting to these highs here and then back up to this resistance area, that we could very well look for continuation up here. So, but if we see we have a pattern, like again, it's come down here, touched this support level, came back up, came back down, came back up, consolidated, came back down to this support area, pulled up a little bit, came back down, came back into this resistance area, and then came back down into this support area. So we have yet to be able to break this resistance level here or break this support level. So it's been respecting it for quite a while. So that being said, that's kind of what we have to look for. So like I said, with us identifying the trend, and as the saying goes, the trend is your friend, we want to follow that until we see something else different in the market. So I do, for Nas100, continue to see some sells unless we end up breaking structure here. So if we end up breaking this area right here, so even just here, if we end up breaking this level right here, this candle, that's going to be a break of structure. So if that does happen, then we are going to continue to target some levels here and these levels here, these highs, and back up into this resistance area. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let me put my screen back on. Cool. Here we go. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Hope you guys got some value from that breakdown. So definitely watch the markets, watch the news this week. And I appreciate you guys as always. Hopefully you get some value from these breakdowns every Sunday. I do these breakdowns every Sunday, just so you guys know. So you guys are more than happy to hop on, interact with me as well. Give me your thoughts, stuff like that. So again, I appreciate you guys. If you can, give me a like and subscribe and follow on my YouTube. I'm definitely continuing to want to grow this channel, continue to give you guys value as I continue to learn myself in the world of trading Forex. So I appreciate you guys, and hope you guys have a great trading week, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.